A very good evening to all brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Today is Tuesday class, 4th July 2023. So we'll be continuing our sharing from this book, the wonderful Dhamma Lotus Flower Sutta. We are on page 467. So as usual, before we commence, we will have our physical puja. Let us compose our mind, develop the faith, then get up. Namo 本师释迦牟尼佛。Namo 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 观世音菩萨。Namo 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 阿弥陀佛。Namo 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 弥勒佛。Namo 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 普贤菩萨。Namo 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 地藏王菩萨。Namo 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 佛菩萨。Namo 佛菩萨。Namo 佛菩萨。อะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธภะคะวะพุทธังภะคะวันตังอะภิวาเทมิสวากขาโตภะคะวะตาธัมโมธัมมังนัมมัสสามิสุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสังฆังนามามินะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะบุตตังสรณังกัจฉามิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิตุติยมปิบุตตังสรณังกัจฉามิตุติยมปิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิตุติยมปิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิตติยมปิบุตตังสรณังกัจฉามิตติยมปิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิตติยมปิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิปานาติปาตาเวรมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิอาดินาดานาเวรมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิกาเมสุมิจฉาจาราเวรมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิมุสาวาทาเวรมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิสุราเมรยามัจจาปมาดัฏฐานะเวรมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิปฏิปาปูจากันนาสารปดิเทนะดิเพนะตามาดังสีนาติโลกะดิปังสัมบุตตังปูจายามิตามโมนุดังกันดาสัมบารายุเตนะดุเพนะหังสุกังหินะปูจาเยปูจานิยังตังปูจาปัจจานะมุตตมัง Vanna Ganda Guno Petang Etang Kasuma Santatin Pujayami Munindasa Siri Pada Sarorohe Pujemi Budang Kasumena Nena Punnena Matena Cha Hotu Mokang Pupang Milayati Yata Idang Me Kayo Tata Yati Vinasa Bhavang Adivase Tuno Bante Paniyang Parikapitang Anukampang Upadaya Patigan Hatu Mutamang Adivase Tuno Bante Pale Parikapitang Anukampang Upadaya Patigan Hatu Mutamang Adivase Tuno Bante Bojanang Parikapitang Anukampang Upadaya Patigan Hatu Mutamang. Okay, we shall now chant the Puja aspirations based on our understanding of the significance of all these Puja offerings. Significance of offering of light. May this offering of light to the Buddha brings forth the causes and conditions to illuminate our mind and help arise the needed clarity and understanding to dispel all darkness or ignorance therein. Significance of offering of water. May this offering of pure, clear, cool water lead us to the pure, clear Dhamma that cools and doses off the fires of all defilements within our mind. Significance of offering of incense. May all morality, virtue, and understanding shine forth far and wide, just like the fragrance of this incense, which we are offering to the Blessed One, who is perfect in wisdom and virtue. Significance of offering of fruits. May this offering of fruits remind us of the Dana Parami of generosity and the fruit of our karma, so that we will diligently strive on with heedfulness to attain the path and fruition as soon as possible. Significance of offering of flowers. May this constant offering of flowers to the Blessed One strengthen our faith and constantly remind us of the impermanence of this body, so that we will diligently and sincerely strive on to cultivate Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, leading to ultimate liberation, the born-free Nibbana. Then making of overall aspiration. By the power of these merits, born of these offerings, may our spiritual faculties of Saddha, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, and Panya be further strengthened until they become balas or powers, sharing and transfer merge to all beings. May these merits be shared and transferred to all beings without exception, especially to those who have the condition and affinity to receive them. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, let us pay respect to Puja. Buddhang Pujami, Dhammang Pujami, Sanghang Pujami. So this awareness-based meditation is very important. Always remember, like the word implies, we are here to develop the ability to be aware within. That's why it's called awareness-based meditation. So what you need to understand is there are 4 support that will support you to develop this awareness-based meditation. The first three are very important. Yeah? Initially, you can do these first three support leading to the stability of awareness within is already good enough. The first support is very easy. Yeah? Just relax. No need to do anything. Relax your entire body and mind. Feel yourself soothingly relaxed, completely at ease. Relax. Whatever mind state that arises, relax into it. Wherever you felt any tension, tightness or stress within your physical or mental, relax into it. Then after that, don't do anything. Don't try to know, don't try to do. Just silence your mind completely and maintain awareness. Just aware, finish. Whatever arises, aware, finish. It can be a thought, it can be a tactile, or it can be anything that trigger of contact between the sense bases and the mind. Like from your hearing, smell, taste, tactile, or thought process. You just aware, finish. Aware, finish. Then the third support is to stabilize this awareness. Yeah. And as you continue to train yourself in this way, your body and mind will be in a state of tranquility, stillness, silent inner awareness without thought. Yeah. Initially, due to your lack of spiritual faculty, your heedless daily life and living, it tends towards conditioning you into heedless thinking. That thinking process will continue to manifest. And because of that, you find it difficult to become quiet, difficult to maintain the inner peace, inner awareness, to be in the meditative state. But don't worry. Whatever movement or activity from your thought process, just understand that these are heedless thinking that continue because you lack the stability or spiritual faculty to be in the meditative state. So to reverse all this, you apply the first three support. Just relax, no thinking. Maintain awareness, no thinking. Aware, finish. Aware, finish. Then continue to allow the awareness to stabilize. Then you will come to realize a movement that is very, very soothing. Everything like slow down, until it becomes very quiet, very peaceful. Then suddenly, like no more movement. Then you experience what they call the quiet moment, the silent moment, where your mind doesn't think, doesn't create sankhara activity, doesn't create any movement. Then the whole mind becomes very quiet, very still. And this is the moment of realization that apart from the thinking mind, there is another nature within that is without thought. Then when it arises, you will be able to become aware of that nature. That nature is your awareness nature. That is what we call your true mind, your silent mind, your meditative mind that is needed for you to develop understanding, to develop the wisdom. So continue this training. Then for those who already have the understanding, You have already stabilized that mindfulness within or awareness within, then you don't need to do anything. You can go straight away to your heart area, maintain awareness there, silence everything, and let the nature meditate on its own, because the fourth support is trust, T-R-U-S-T. Trust your nature to meditate. Means no more interference from the thought process. The awareness that is aware will detect by itself. As long as it's around the heart area, it will detect whatever vibration or heartbeat around the heart area, it will detect. When it detects, allow it to be, then it will stay at the location where the vibration or heartbeat that you can detect, stay there. Be aware of whatever phenomena that arise, and let that mind become quiet. Let the mind become just aware of whatever activity or movement, until that activity or movement also become very quiet and very still. Then it will do its own movement. Sometimes, if you are ready, you have the stability of sati, awareness and understanding, that nature will detect the gateway. Then when it detects the gateway, the cultivator of the way will understand, well, something will happen. Normally it's the movement of external energy, your yin-yang energy, that is still quite gross or quite crude. That one will start to melt inside. And whatever that happens, as it go through that gateway, it becomes pure energy. So different people experience the movement differently. But ultimately, those who go through, they will know. Then that movement is by itself. No thinking involved, no thought involved, no interference from the brain, the memory. It's just that nature's movement activity. Then the internal transformation, whatever that arises and happens within, the awareness nature will understand. You will know. Because there is this awareness. After the meditation, you can recollect and you can know what is happening. What are the byproducts? What are the movement activity and all things, and what transform inside. So all this, you will develop the understanding. But for most people, you don't need to do the four support. The first three support is enough. You can slowly, mindfully come out of the meditation and try to maintain whatever inner peace, inner calmness, and inner awareness that you have developed for as long as you can. The awareness within is very important. Maintain the inner awareness at all times. When you are with the awareness, that is your true mind. That is the nature that can observe and develop understanding. When you are there, aware without thought, you are in the meditative state, sati. Invocation to the Devas. In this universe, in the entirety, let the deities or Devas come here. Let them hear the good teachings of the King of Sages, which gives heaven and release, Nibbana. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. Samanta Chakawalesu Atra gacantu devata Saddamang munirajasa Sunantu sakemokadang Dhamma sabanan kalo ayang badanta Dhamma sabanan kalo ayang badanta Dhamma sabanan kalo ayang badanta Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Iti peso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho Vijacarana sampanno sugato lokavidu Anuttaro purisa dhammasarati Satta deva manusanang Buddho Bhagavati Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sandetiko Akaliko Ehipaseko Opanayiko Pacatang Veditabo Pinohiti Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Ujupatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Nyayapatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Samicipatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Yadidang Chatari Purisa Yukani Atta Purisa Pugala Esa Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Ahuneyo Ahuneyo Dakineyo Anjali Karaneyo Anuttarang Punyang Ketang Lokasati Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu. Okay, you all can be seated. And we shall continue from where we stop. Before that, maybe I got a short announcement. There is this book. What is the difference between awareness and consciousness? We just finished editing and proofreading the book. So actually today, Brazil accidentally sent it to the My Kaya Metta website. So I told him it's okay. Don't worry, just let things be. I think it's meant to be. So those who have not read this book or listened to the sharing, because the sharing was, I think, done in the year 2019 in one of the Thursday class at Brother Hsuan's house. So at that time, that sharing was very unique, very complete, and that video which was recorded, we had the audio file, the video file, and also the whiteboard link. You watch the video, then you read the transcript book, you will understand better. Otherwise, you cannot get the understanding of how the sharing was delivered. because at that time when we did the sharing, I was using mostly our Malaysian colloquial language to deliver. So when we did the transcript, if it's a transcript in a book form, it may not be easy for people to understand unless they listen to the video. But anyway, thanks to some Kayamitas who help out and the feedback, especially Sister Chui last time, we managed to improve on the flow, and we actually try to edit some of the use of words and language so that it is more conducive for people who read based on English language understanding. Means if you are English educated, then when you read, at least it's more readable. But certain aspects of the colloquial description are still there. So when you go through, you will understand. But if you listen to the video, then it's like it's no problem. But the colloquial language and the video will give you the understanding. So when you read through this type of transcript, you make sure you understand the style that was delivered and approach. Then the other thing is that video, that sharing is very beautiful and very complete in its own. And there are a lot of very clear, lucid explanation of what this teaching is. We call it the awareness and consciousness. Then consciousness, Mahayana, they expand on it. They come out with the 9 type of consciousness. Whereas Theravada, we only have the Pali word Vijnanam, but it is good enough. If you have the mindfulness, the stability of mindfulness and the wisdom and the understanding, then you can insight in the phenomena, penetrate the Dhamma to develop the clear understanding of the Theravada tradition's teaching, especially the 5 aggregates of form and mind. Once you understand that and you are able to have the stability of mindfulness to see the Paticca Samuppada or dwelling within your own form and mind, then you will clearly understand how the Mahayana subdivide into that 9 type of consciousness, no different. It's basically the 5 aggregate of form and mind, leading to the cessation of form and mind. So the first 8 consciousness, they are the same as the 5 aggregates of form and mind. Because the 5 aggregates of form and mind, they have a common denominator, the mundane mind, which can develop the perception. And because we have the 5 physical senses, our eye, ear, nose, tongue, tactile, and brain become the 6th sense door. So the common denominator is the mundane mind. When you perceive through that mundane mind, that becomes the 6th consciousness. The first 5 are the 5 physical basic consciousness. We call it the seeing consciousness, the hearing consciousness, the smell, taste, tactile. These are the first 5 of consciousness. Then the 6th one is actually thought consciousness. But this thought consciousness can only arise when there is perception. That's why perception is the 6th consciousness. And that aggregate of mind is common to all the first 5 physical senses too. Then because of that perception, it triggers off what we call the respective sense door consciousness. Then from the 6th consciousness, where this is the one that brings the external form into the mind. So the mind also have its 5 aggregates. Basically, apart from the mental aggregates of Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, Vijnana, the external form that the Sanya brings in becomes the 5 aggregate. Then when you create thought activity upon contact, there is this what they call movement of consciousness. If the form and mind doesn't have the wisdom and the Dhamma, then that Sankara Sanya inside there, we call it the Sankara aggregate, that one becomes discriminative because it's not enlightened yet. That one is deluded, egoic. So this Sankara becomes the 7 consciousness. It creates discrimination, and at the moment of discrimination, based on your memory, your views, your opinion, conditioning, belief system, whatever accumulated experiences that you have gone through in life, both good and bad, wholesome and unwholesome, including all the negative psychological memories, they will condition the form and mind to stir and react. That's how you create discrimination. Your like and dislike, pleasant and unpleasant sense experience, your preference, your craving, your desire, your selfishness, your fear, your phobia, your insecurity, all this becomes the activity of the 7 consciousness. So that 7 consciousness become the discriminative consciousness. So that one is your discriminative mind. So from there, you input the content of consciousness. Then the content of consciousness will trigger off the 8 consciousness, which is basically, we call it Namarupa, the 4th link of the Paticca Samuppada. The 4th link, before the content goes in, it is pure consciousness without the content. That is the 3rd link, Vijnana. So that Vijnana is the pure consciousness. Like the Buddha said, in the seeing, there's only the seeing consciousness. No one to see. No egoic mind. But the moment the egoic mind come in and it input the content, it become Namarupa or Namarupa, the 5 aggregate of form and mind. Yeah. So this 5 aggregate of form and mind is what we call the thought. So that thought become a consciousness. So that is what they call the 8 consciousness or the alaya consciousness, or some call it the storehouse consciousness, where this one is the accumulation of all your karmic imprints, your karmic mental intention, formation, everything is inside there. So the Mahayana try to give an analogy, just like our physics experiment. Upon contact of the switch with the bulb and the battery, then it trigger off the light bulb to light up. The lighting up is like you become conscious of what you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you taste, what you tactily feel and think. So this part, when you become conscious, is very important. So instead of this physics experiment, the Mahayana also come out with the word organ. He said our 7 consciousness is like the organ inside the mind. So this organ need what? Need sense data. So the sense data come in from the sanya aggregate. perception aggregate. So when you perceive, that is the sense data that come in. Then upon contact of mind with the sense data, what happens is the light bulb lights up. So they say that sense organ, which is the 7 consciousness, trigger of the 8 consciousness, means like the light bulb that light up, we become conscious of that thought consciousness. So that is what the 8 consciousness is all about. The alaya consciousness is all about. So basically it's the same. The 6 consciousness is sanya aggregate. The 7 consciousness is sankhara aggregate. The 8 consciousness is actually the vijnana with its content. So all this, when you see in the meditation with your awareness, you understand, then you wake up, then how you describe it, how you expand on it, is of no importance or significance. You can still understand. So when people share with you the 8 types of consciousness, or just the 5 aggregate of form and mind, using the Theravada tradition's understanding, it's the same. When you have realized, awakened, you will have the understanding. That's why in that particular video is very good. I explain the whole thing very clearly, and it carries a lot of very important understanding, which are like very important pointers that can enable one to insight into phenomena, to realize the truth, to awaken. So do read through that transcript. It will help you if you are a cultivator. And read through it a few times, because it's not easy to understand unless you are very good, you have your past, you are a cultivator, then you can understand. But it's good to reflect, contemplate, and go into it and enable your silent mind, awareness nature to awaken to all this, to see all this. And then it becomes very beautiful. Yeah. So that is the part I want to share. Yeah. Then I also describe quite a lot of what I went through during my early days of cultivation. You look at the subheading, you will see a lot of Pali terms being used. The 3 types of mind. Yeah. We have mano, chitta, and vijnana. They are all explained inside there. Then we also have the 3 terms for defilements. We have kilesa, anusaya, and asava. They are all clearly described and explained there. Then we also have the analogy of the 5 aggregate of form and mind. How we realize that they are dependent, originating, condition arising, causal phenomena. The 3 things that animate the form and mind into a human being or a living being, they are all explained inside there. First is, we need to have a physical body. We need to have the physical body that is in functioning order. Then we have the second, what they call condition. There must be this consciousness that is already there upon birth, inception, the rebirth consciousness that become conditioned and evolve into the sophisticated bundle of memories with its what they call conditioned network of consciousness. We call it the totality of conditioned consciousness that the form and mind carries. Then the third one is, of course, the life force, the karmic force. Then when the karmic force trigger of the supportive karma to give rise to the karmic force that pump our heart, then it animates us into like a living being, a human being. In our case, it's a human being. Then you start to see, like we become real, we exist. Then like we have this form and mind, the life force that trigger off all this activity that enable us to become conscious of life, to become conscious of what we see, what we hear, what we smell, what we taste, what we tactilely feel and think. So that ability to be conscious, to be aware, to live life and all those things is what meditation is all about. So all these are explained inside the transcript book. Then we also have the part where I talk about the collapse of the mundane mind. That one is useful for cultivators of the way who want to understand deeper the Bodhisattva way, and then how the enlightenment process, cessation of form and mind leading to the unconditioned, can be realized. So all those are there. So do pay attention to that transcript book. You don't have to go and print it out because I think not long, maybe next 3 weeks or so, or longest within a month, we are going to print the book using our Kayamita fund. So each and every of our Kayamita, you can have your copy. You can collect it. And if there are people who are interested, you can also help distribute to them for free distribution. So that part, pay attention. We will continue from page 47. Morality. The second of the 6 perfections. According to宣化, it cures one's bad conduct. So this morality is actually sila. The first of the 6 perfections, where the Mahayana describe or teaches, because they like this 6 paramitas instead of the 10 paramitas or 10 perfections as taught in the Theravada tradition. So they focus on these 6. But basically they are quite similar. So first one is dana. Dana parami is generosity. That one we have covered. Second one is sila. So here sila, Shenhua say, it is to counter or cure those that don't have sila. So he used the word bad conduct. Actually is sila, morality. So if you live your life heedlessly without morality or without sila, then you will get yourself into trouble. Because without sila, you will create a lot of negativity of mind state. And without sila, your karmic nature will fall. So sila is the basis for morality, for us to take care of our karmic nature. Without sila, the Buddha already explained, one who don't have sila will commit major evils. Because if you were to check the 5 basic precepts for lay people, if you were to break them or violate them, they constitute severe karmic negativity. You would have committed major evils. Take for example the first precept. The Buddha said, we undertake the training rule to abstain from killing or causing harm to fellow living beings. In Pali, like we chant at the start, Panatipata Veramani Sikkhapada Samadhiyami. What is the meaning? Why did the Buddha say, this first precept, we undertake the training rule, we have to train ourselves to abstain from killing and causing harm to fellow living beings. So we have to inquire who kill and harm fellow living beings. To kill, there must be very strong driving force born of evil intention behind. So what are the evil roots that leads to killing and causing harm to fellow living beings? Only people who have violent character, have a lot of anger, hatred, or very selfish in their intent. And because of the selfishness, they plot to kill, to harm. The other one is being deluded. If you are not deluded, you will not do that. You will not create all these evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion. That's why a person who kills and harm, he has all the three evil roots. They constitute major evil. So killing, if you break the precept, it will bring about severe karmic downfall, karmic negativity. So like the Buddha said, we are all born of our karma, heir to our karma, conditioned, supported by our karma. We are what we are because of karma. So if you understand this karmic law, you will be very mindful of your life. You will never violate the precept because it's not worthwhile. Then the Buddha also say, you reap what you sow. Do good begets good, do evil begets evil. Meaning, if you plant the seed of evil by breaking the precept, you will reap the vipaka or the fruition of it, of the evil things that you do. That's why if you plant the seed of wholesomeness, you will reap the wholesome reward of that action, speech, or thought process. So in the Mahayana tradition, they always say this: 种因结果，种恶因结恶果，种善因结善果。And when you understand this, they say you have to be careful so that you do not plant the wrong seed and reap the wrong fruit. 千万要小心，不要种错因结错果。So that is the meaning of that wisdom behind that right view with regards to the law of karma. Then you check the other four precepts, it's the same. So morality is very important. It's not just to correct your bad conduct. It's to keep your what they call karmic negativity at check. This is how you avoid all evil, by keeping your precept. If you cannot keep your precept, you cannot avoid all evil. Then you cannot keep your precept, you cannot develop samadhi to meditate. That's why we have dana, sila, samadhi, and panya. Panya is wisdom. So without sila, it cannot kickstart samadhi. Samadhi is the collectedness of mind, unwavering mind that can enable you to meditate, to see things as they are, and to awaken an insight into phenomena, to develop the wisdom which is panya. So without sila, there is no samadhi, very difficult. That's why sila is fundamental. That's why it's one of the 6 perfections that we have to develop. Okay, we go back to the sharing. So now you understand, huh? Because I realized in Xuanhua's commentary, he didn't expand on it, he didn't go into it. Okay, then the next one is patience, kanti, the 3rd perfection. So according to Xuanhua, you cultivate the parami of kanti, or patience, endurance with wisdom, is to help you crosses over anger so that you don't become violent. you don't become angry, you don't develop envy, jealousy, hatred, and all those things. So here Hsuan said, do you like to lose your temper? If you don't, then you should cultivate the perfection of patience or kanti, patient endurance, and not get angry. Change your attitude, change your temperament. When people with quick tempers refrain from getting angry, that is patience. And this one I have to correct a bit. So this one is maybe to normal people, means you have patience because you refrain, means you try to suppress your anger, understand not? You try not to get angry, understand not? So they say this is patience. Actually, it's not. If you suppress your anger, that is not patient endurance. Patient endurance is with the understanding that you must not stir your mind to get angry. Means like what we have cultivated under Dhammanupassana, the 6 internal sense bases and 6 external sense bases, we develop mindfulness of it. So that is for us to see and understand. Then we understand how anger comes to be, how fear comes to be. They are dependent originating mindset, born of wrong view, delusion. So to cultivate patient endurance is to develop the wisdom to retrospectively reverse all this wrong view. We are straightening your view so that you don't get angry anymore, so that the anger cannot actually stir or develop. So cultivating khanti or patient endurance is to develop the wisdom to see clearly, to understand all this, then retrospectively reverse it through straightening your views, like I explained in the past during the retreat and to most Kayamita. When we are mindful and aware, we will come to know how anger come to be, how fear come to be, how worry, anxiety, sorrow, and lamentation come to be. Then we realize it's always from one of our senses. Either after we see something, hear something, or smell something, or taste something, or tactily feel something. If we don't like those conditions, we manifest the negativity of mind state. Or the more often than none possibility is when we recall through memory. So when you recall through memory, either your phobia or your scars of memory, or something that is fearful, like your child abuse or whatever, then it conditions you to develop the fear, the worry, the anxiety, and all. Then you realize it is through one of your senses. When you don't have the wisdom, yoniso manasikara, to prompt you to develop the Dhamma understanding, to free, then your mind will be conditioned into negativity. That's why they say, feeling, vedana, pacaya tanha. So feeling that is initially the pure feeling, because you are not enlightened yet, you don't have the wisdom, the yoniso manasikara, it will be conditioned into craving. So straight away that link move. You cannot cut, you cannot stop it at all. That's why without wisdom, there is no way. You need wisdom at the moment of sense experience. That's why you need to cultivate this yoniso manasikara, or wisdom at the moment of sense experience, or we call it the initial wisdom, born of the first turning and second turning wisdom. which is Suttamaya Panya and Chittamaya Panya, which we have gone through. So, mindfulness of the 6 internal sense bases and the 6 external sense bases will allow you to see how it originates. Then retrospectively, we are straightening your view, reverse it, so that you do not stir your mind and react anymore. Then the fear will not arise. So how do you do that? Yes, the textbook is silent on that. Very few people understand that, and nobody really thought about that. So we have to understand all this via inquiring. What did the Buddha say in his teaching? How can we overcome that? The Buddha always tells the monk, develop the ability to see things as they are via the direct seeing, the insight, wisdom, jnana dasana, direct knowledge and vision of the reality. So how can we see things as they are? Seeing things as they are is the direct seeing without the words, without the concept, without the mundane mind coming in and interfere to stir the mind, to create the delusion. So that one will enable us to have the solution and answer to develop the wisdom to free the mind. So when the Buddha says, see things as they are, means we have to be mindful the next time we see, or we hear, or we recollect through memory. So when we are mindful and aware, then this wisdom that we have developed through the first, second, or third turning wisdom will promise. Then we will come to this understanding. Because what you see is the reality, condition arising, causal phenomenon. That's why in the Diamond Sutta is mentioned, 一切有为法, means whatever you observe and see, like the Buddha said, that is the reality. There are causes and conditions behind. So when causes and condition is set, things will be just the way it is. Means what? He is the way he is. The world is the world. Condition like that, things will be like that. So this understanding free us, liberate us. He is the way he is means deluded people do deluded things. Selfish people do selfish things. Violent people do violent things. Ignorant people do ignorant things. So this is how you develop the wisdom to see things as they are. That is the reality. Everything within the conditioned world are conditioned Dhamma. That's why 一切有为法. So whatever that arise within the conditioned world are conditioned Dhamma. It cannot be otherwise. There must be causes and conditions behind for it to arise. Like the Buddha said, whatever that arise, there are causes and conditions behind. That is the answer. That is the reality. That is what nature is. Because they all echo and flow, following nature's law. The Pancha Niyamas. The 5 universal order of nature. The first 2 are physical law and biological law. And these are scientific law, non-spiritual. The other 3 are spiritual law. Law of karma, law of mind, law of truth. So these 5 Panchaniyama governs the whole of arising and ceasing of the existential world within the conditioned world. So this is how you can develop the wisdom to free your mind. And these are not taught because hardly any book write about it or share all this. So this understanding is what you need to develop so that you can free. That's why patient endurance is not a theory, not a concept. Not for you to suppress your anger. Oh, anger is an evil root. I must not have anger. Fear is an evil root. I must not have fear. I suppress it. I try to don't want to let it arise. That is not cultivating Khanti. Cultivating Khanti is to understand the movement, then retrospectively we are straightening your view to actually reverse all this so that it cannot arise. Because we understand through mindfulness and awareness that all this fear, worry, anxiety, sorrow and lamentation, and even anger, they are dependent originating, condition arising, causal phenomena, non-intrinsic within our true mind or true nature. They never existed. That's why anger was never you. Fear was never you. Sorrow, lamentation, all the mind state, they were never you. They are dependent originating, causal phenomena, entity that arise due to causes and condition. Through your wrong view, you reacted, you stir, and it arises. So when you see all this, you like awaken. My life, I have the choice to live my life. Why should I allow my mind to stir and create the evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion, negativity of karma to arise, to bring about karmic downfall? This is not the way to live life. That's why through all this understanding, you will straight away awaken. Then that yoniso manasikara, wisdom at the moment of sense experience, will prompt you. He is the way he is. The world is the world. Condition like that, things will be like that. So via the wisdom, you straighten your view, you are at peace. When you are at peace, means you can accept the reality within the moment. Everything is condition arising, causal phenomena. So condition Dhamma arise dependent on condition. So it has to be that way. Yeah, that is the reality. So whatever you come to term with the moment is always the reality. You cannot argue with the reality. That's why we have to accept whatever happened. Be at peace. Then when we are at peace, we don't stir. There is no need to be patient, understand? So patient endurance is a wisdom that understand, then you doesn't move. You doesn't create that negativity of movement. So that patient endurance is born of wisdom. That's why cultivating that one is not easy. You have to develop a lot of patient endurance. Means you understand everything is just the way it is, cannot be otherwise. Complain also no use, angry also no use, blame people also no use. Well, none of this is going to help you. So when you start to understand all this very clearly, see all this very clearly, then you become different. Then you are very patient. You no longer behave like before. Getting agitated, not happy, why like that, why the world is like that, why people like that. No more. All this will cease. Then you just smile, laugh. That's why this patient endurance will keep you going. You become very different. You can endure a lot of things. When things don't go your way because causes and condition is such, never mind. Maybe in the past, karmic. That is what my nature in the past through delusion did. So now, causes and conditions arise, it has manifest, unfold, and I have to endure. That's why you have to go through it. Sometimes certain things in life, you have to endure, Like I used to say, when condition is like that, things will be like that. Just like when we travel overseas, when you are overseas. So it depends on the places you are. When you are at certain places which are not like usual, condition can be very harsh. Then the food may not be what you used to have. Then the environment, the weather, everything may not be as conducive as you want it to be. Then sometimes maybe the weather not good, or there is no air condition or heater and all those things. Then sometimes you have to endure, because these are the understanding that you have to develop. When condition is like that, things will be like that. You cannot like want things your way unless your parami is different. Like in the time of the Buddha, there is one monk, I think. He a lot of generosity on. He has done a lot of dana parami. So the Buddha tell this monk, if you want to go to that place which is very cold, very harsh weather, to do your pindapata, you better get hold of Sivali. Sivali, bring him along. And then you will have better condition. Because he has such parami. No matter how bad that situation is, he will receive all those things. So causes and conditions based on your understanding and parami are very important. So sometimes because of what you have done in the past, when the condition arise, it is like that. Then you will know you have to endure, It's not for you to decide whether you want or you don't want. Because the condition is such. So if you cannot come to terms with that reality, you will have your, what they call, craving, attachment, and you will suffer. Because you want things your way, which is not nature's condition. So ability to come to terms with the reality, with whatever that manifests within nature, is wisdom number one. That's why patient endurance is to have this wisdom. We call it accord and flow. Accord and flow is very important. In Mandarin is what? 顺法自然 or what? 随缘啊。Something like that. So when you understand that you have to accord and flow, means that is wisdom, giving rise to patience, endurance, understand? Zen. Because you have to patiently endure. It's like disease and sickness. Suddenly, let's say, you develop some form of disease. It can be COVID-19 or whatever. Happen already, understand? You complain also no use, miserable also no use. Before the help can come, before the doctor can help to diagnose you and give you the medication, you need to endure, isn't it? You need to go through the experience and develop the Dhamma understanding behind it, isn't it? That's why the Buddha said, dukkha is to be understood. When you are confronted with the first noble truth reality, even old age, sickness and death, you develop the second turning wisdom. This noble truth of dukkha is to be understood. Then how can I understand it? I have to confront it, understand? I have to be mindful of it. Then I know I have to patiently endure before I can get the medication or the help. I have to understand. Otherwise you got two choices. Complain, react and become miserable over it. Then you lost your day. Your mind become unhappy, miserable. That is what Dhamma is. So when you have the Dhamma, you will know how to develop all this patient endurance. You will know how to accord and flow. You will not crave for things, want things your way. That strong desire for the condition to be otherwise. You will never do those foolish things anymore. Then with your wisdom and the understanding, you can just patiently develop the understanding silent. Then because of your parami, when you are patient, when you don't stir your mind, don't react and get angry and become miserable, you realize the Dhamma flow. Then all of a sudden, everything like reverse itself. That's why through my cultivation, my understanding, I always advise Kayamita and even my own children. I say whatever happened in life, no matter how negative that thing is, how unhappy you may become, never get angry, never complain, never stir your mind. Accept that reality. Then with clarity of mind, reflect, contemplate. Then understand what happened. Then through the understanding, reverse all this. Ask yourself, how can I resolve all this amicably? How can I move on? We are cultivating the Noble Eightfold Path. We are cultivating the Dhamma. So this is how you can free. Otherwise, when you stir your mind, get angry, become impatient, you know what happened. These are evil roots, roots of evil. It will condition more karmic negativity from the past. That's why when you are in that negativity of mind state, more and more negative karma happen. You become like more and more affected one. More and more like Hsuan, they say. No luck. It's nothing to do with luck. You stir your mind and create the causes and conditions for all the karmic negativity to arise. That's why patient endurance, when you understand, you can cultivate it differently. And it's really beautiful. Okay, so that part I have covered. Go back to the sharing. I have to move on. I only covered 2. Or 3 at least. 2 เนี่ย morality and patience เนี่ย 2个 Dana 是last session 做了的，今天是 Sila and Kanti. The next one is Virya. Virya is vigor. Is the 4th perfection. So it overcomes laxness or means laziness. So he said, are you lazy? If you are lazy, cultivate virya. So they are more concerned with developing the virya or spiritual tenacity to cultivate, because they don't want to be like caught lacking the virya to cultivate. Means you become like what we use. You become like you didn't push yourself. Means you develop the complacency and you become lazy, lax, and you are not serious about your cultivation. So he said, to overcome that, you must cultivate virya. But this spiritual faculty or perfection, you need to understand it deeper. Because virya arises through an understanding also. Without saddha, virya cannot arise. Understand? Once you have saddha, faith in the Buddha and his teaching, then it will drive you to cultivate. We are what? We are seeing the importance of this teaching. And we are knowing how wonderful and unique the Buddha is. So the Buddha is not only enlightened, he is the fully enlightened one, perfect in virtue and wisdom. Then his teaching his teaching can bring about enlightenment in the here and the now, liberate your mind, free you forever, so that you don't have to come back to this existential world to take rebirth through ignorance again, so that suffering need not be. So such a teaching is so unique, so beautiful, and so wonderful. Then what are you waiting for? For me, when I see the importance of this teaching and how unique the Buddha is, that gratitude towards the Buddha, that faith towards the Buddha and his teaching would drive me to cultivate. That's why since the year 19 71, when I saw that Four Noble Truths, I told myself, no need to search anymore, no turning back. This is the one. That's why I went all out, and it drives me to search for this teaching, to understand this teaching. That's why after that, everything fall into place. Because my nature from the past knew that this is what I need, the Four Noble Truths. And nobody can do that unless he's the real enlightened being. They have a, but nobody can summarize all of life, both mundane and supramundane, into just 4 noble truths. Such beautiful truth. Noble truths are truths that can make you noble ones or enlightened ones. That's why they are so unique. So this understanding is very important. Huh? Okay, so at least we cover 3. Yeah? Okay, I think we will stop here. Huh? So today again, less than half a page. So anyway, today sharing is very good. Huh? So the next one is Dayan Samadhi, the 5th parameters. Then the 6th one is Panya. That one we will continue next session. Please take a note. On the 12th of July this month, means next week onward, until 17th, I will be away with some of the Kayamitas. We are usually going on a trip to Sabah. So the class will be cancelled. So I was told 12 is Wednesday, so the Tuesday class 11 also will be cancelled until the whole week. So just make a note. Anyway, the notice will be sent out. So you all can have a 1 week break if you want to. Okay? So we can continue your second session, which is meditation reporting, followed by whatever question that you may have regarding the Dhamma, the meditation, or how to apply the teaching to help you understand life and solve all your life problems. The other one is sharing of Dhamma in daily life based on your own cultivation, experience, and all things.
Hello, Amitofo,
Amitofo.
Brother, Mrs.
Yeah,
Teo, and all Kayamitas.
Yeah.
Actually, I have one thing, but the Brother, this one is related to like health matters. Is it appropriate to share?
You can share.
Okay. But before that, Brother, I also like to express my gratitude and respect to all my teachers. Brother Theo and all my past teachers, that they may not be my so-called personal teachers, but they have somehow somewhat guided me in their Dhamma sharing.
Yes.
And when I attend retreat, what I want to say is like people, monks at like Ajahn Brahm, for example, I listen to his Dhamma talk even before I actually interested in
Dhamma.
Dhamma. So actually, he this Ajahn Brahma, he's the one that actually brings a lot of joy to me.
He is a very jovial monk.
Yes.
He brings a lot of joy, sharing, and jokes. A lot of what I should say. People whom I met when they discuss this topic about Ajahn Brahm, they like his humor, the way he share, the way he teach. He is basically a Westerner, and when he share, I think a lot of people like the way he actually put forward the teaching. That's why he's very popular among a lot of Asian Buddhists.
Yes. Yeah, because of him, actually, I become more interested in the Dhamma, and also, I has a lot of faith in the Triple Gem, And then also when I attended Sayale retreat, it gives me a lot of sense of urgency, the seriousness of cultivation, So the discipline, although it was like very stressful then, I know, because when you do not know anything, definitely it's going to be stressful,
Those are
So I
the
want to
phases that cultivator go through.
Yes, correct. So I don't want to give the impression that is so scary, to attend retreat. It's not like that. It's just because I'm being new, so not knowing anything and going to such a intensive retreat. It's very stressful to me, But in my personal point of view, my own experience, because of, like Brother Teo said, the beginning of the cultivation, so it's
the phase where you start, that is the most difficult phase. Because at that time, most people, when they just want to come out and search, they don't know what this thing is, especially religion. And sometimes if they have finally chosen the religion, they find it very difficult to go around to find the right teacher who can teach them or explain to them basically what is this religion or this teaching. That search is not easy, because in the early day I remember, despite what I have my past, although it helped me a lot, but then in the early days I remember when I try to develop some understanding of what the mind is. Because at that time, very strange. When I was Form 5, Form 6, the search, I only want to know something about the mind. If somebody can explain to me what this mind is, then I know I can penetrate already. But I can't. Then finally, when I came to the uni, then I came to know the Chief Reverend K. Sri Dhamma. Luckily, he actually gave us a break. He was able to explain a lot of this, what we call Theravada tradition, Dhamma teachings. Means he is very good. Chief Reverend, he has very good understanding and knowledge of the Buddhist teaching, the whole Tipitaka, in fact the Pali canon also. That's why he can recite them. He has good understanding of Pali words too. Then he also wrote a lot of book, a lot of these Dhammapada verses. The whole Dhammapada verses book 423, the thick book, is very well written and published. So all this actually helped. Then he gave a lot of talk. Every Sunday we have our Dhamma talk. Then every Friday night he has his Dhamma talk. Then in between, people invite him and other places. And I was in charge of recording at that time, I remember. So we have a group of us. Then most of the thing is done by me, my wife, and sometimes other Kayamita help out. So we do all the recording, then we do all the dubbing, the taping and all those things. Then we set up the tape library. We label them, we loan to people who has the affinity and interest, free. You only need to like return or contribute the blank tape for us to do the dubbing or transfer of the recording. So all this, so I remember I bought 3 or 4 of the dubbing machine. Because that one is a double deck one where I can copy one. We dub until the whole machine, the head also cannot dub already, so I had to buy a new one. I remember I bought 3 or 4 of those units just to do it up. So because of that, the theory, the teaching, the format or setup, basic framework was there, but they are not linked, not connected, I realized. Then it's like the jigsaw puzzle. One piece here, one piece there, everything like separate. The whole picture not there. The flow chart that my daughter did that one that link and connect everything. You call that mind map, was not there. That's why at that time it was not easy. That's why later on when I developed the cultivation, when I developed the understanding after 1989, that I understood what this thing is, and then I can teach, I can share. That's why later on when Yun Chan came and invited me, my nature said, hey, it's about time you come out. You don't come out, who else can come out? So that's the reason why I came out. Then when I came out, the way I teach is very different. I teach based on understanding. You don't understand, you cannot start. That's why the basic essential Dhamma, I keep on like repeating and repeating and repeating. So people who doesn't understand, they thought I repeat. No, because it is to give rise to understanding. Because when you approach it and connect it up, then you see the beauty of the teaching. Then you understand how they are all linked and connected and developed through all the Pancha Niyamas, especially the three spiritual law, Kama Niyama, Chitta Niyama, and Dhamma Niyama. So all this, it trigger off the understanding and the unfolding of all the teaching. That's why the mind map, everything came out. Then with that, easy for people to cultivate, to develop the understanding. Then the more difficult part is, of course, the development of awareness-based meditation to actually supersede the thought-based. That one is not easy. That one took me quite a long time. Then over the last few years only, I think people start to develop the confidence and understanding. And apart from that, we also need to develop the understanding of the cultivation of the Bodhisattva way, the vows and all those things. So the sainthood way, the essential Dhamma, and all those that are needed are already developed into a book. We call it the Heart Sutta Short Notebook. That book, go and read it up and develop the understanding and cultivate. Then the sainthood way, everything that you need to understand and cultivate, they are all there. Then if you want to go the Bodhisattva way, read the blue book, Cultivating the Bodhisattva Way. Then you want to develop penetrative pointers and understanding, listen to all the recording, especially those that have the transcript one. They are very good. And all this can really be a gem for cultivators of the way. So very good, Poh Cheng. What you mentioned is correct. Initially, it's not easy. The beginning phase of your search. Then what happened after that? You continue.
No, Brother Teo, I just want to say that, I want to really express my gratitude and
To us all who have
respect,
helped you.
yes, to all my teachers, like,
Yeah.
the teachers of my past and
Yeah.
present teacher, Brother Teo, that guided me along all these teaching that you mentioned, is a very it's called precious gem, like Brother Teo said,
Yeah.
yes, and how Brother Teo connect all the teachings together, and link it up and connect it, and gives it really kind of like a mind map, like Brother Teo said, how you map all them together and connect, which you don't see other teachers do that.
You cannot find.
Yes, that is
So that the teaching can be developed in such clarity,
yes,
in
yes,
such
yes.
lucid way.
Yes, correct. So for us, right, when we do our cultivation, we have parts and pieces here and there,
Right,
and then when you share all these, you kind of like put the dot and put
you can
the
see
dot.
the whole picture.
Yes.
Otherwise, you don't know where you are. You like cannot understand because the full picture not there. So they say bo thao bo bui in Hokkien.
Yes. Yes. You connect them together, and then it flow. It's kind of like a closed loop, for us.
The whole big picture become clear. Then very easy to cultivate. Means you cultivate with understanding.
Yes.
This is the whole Dhamma. They are all interconnected, interrelated. It's not separate pieces here and there. The Dhamma is only one Dhamma actually. The universal truth. Dhamma is basically truth. And the Buddha summarized it as noble truth, not ordinary truth. Yeah, you can continue.
Yes. So like I said, I want to express my gratitude and respect and thanks to all these teachers of my past teachers and current teachers, Bratio and all the Ajahns and Sayale that I come across, So I actually learned a lot of things, to start to kick off my cultivation, in that sense, in that way, because I mean, I may not understand a lot of the things in the past, but now I seem to appreciate that they may have their ways of teaching, some Ajahn Brahm give me a lot of joy in listening to his Dharma, Sayale is like very serious, very disciplined type, Actually, a lot of the Sayale that I met is very disciplined, very have a lot of I mean sense of urgency, cannot just go there and lay back and do nothing, that kind of thing. So it kind of like give me the sense of urgency, push me a lot, so that I will not be lazy,
sense of urgency. That's
so
why
that
you contemplate on Marana Nusati.
Yes, correct. So that's how I think I developed that Marana Nusati for my cultivation. Okay.
It drives you. The virya.
Yes. I think that is how it happened,
because without that understanding, you take things for granted, then you become complacent, then you are not serious, then you won't go far, you won't develop the progress. But when you become very serious, you become different. It will drive you, you will cultivate with all the understanding, the faith, and that virya, that urgency, sense of urgency. You use it correctly. That word is beautiful. That sense of urgency will drive you. That's why virya can also come about from there. Not only faith in the Buddha and his teaching, but the sense of urgency.
But I have both, because I have the joy of learning the Dharma, and then I have this sense of urgency from the discipline that given, taught, So that is how I mean I see the
it benefited you.
It benefited me, the approach given to me in that manner. So I kind of benefited from it. Okay, so Bratio, thank you very much for your teaching that helped me develop even further, in my cultivation. So the second part that I wanted to share is about the health item. Yes. Okay. So I will talk about that first quickly so that other people can share. Okay. So what I wanted to say is, remember I was doing my blood test, Bratio.
That one you have shared the first part with us.
Yes. So I want to talk about the result of the test, Bratio. Yes. So the result of the test. So in the past, I never do this test before, the vitamin D test, Bratio. The vitamin D test. So I did the test and it shows that I was in the borderline case, So this vitamin D, I did not know that it's so very important, Bratio.
Vitamin D is very important,
The D, the D itself.
I know.
So this D, if it's lacking in D, actually I did not know until I watched a video that was shown to me by my husband. He tells me if you have a lack of vitamin D, you will have some on and off backache, on and off backache. Okay, so this doctor actually in the video, the Dr. Eric in the video says that if you have a deficiency in vitamin D, you will have backache. So actually, I didn't really take it too seriously when I have backache, because I thought, because in the past when I was young, I also have some backache on and off. And then now that I have some backache, it's not a big deal, you know. But actually, it's you don't have to suffer unnecessary. That's what I mean, you know.
When you have that understanding, yes.
Yes. So if you have enough vitamin D, but vitamin D, you see, for me, is like exposed to the sun, you should be okay. You don't have any problem. But actually is depending how much intensity, how many minutes you actually in the sun, in order to have that the right amount of vitamin D, and how your body, how your body, how you call that? How your body utilize the sun, you know, is also different from person to person, you know.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. So your body may not develop the vitamin D from the exposure of the sun because of your skin color. If your skin color is darker, you will develop slower, and then you need longer time to be under the sun. So all depends, you know, okay, from people to people also. But anyway, my case, I thought I have enough sun because I go out in the sun, you know, and then
you walk
do my
around.
I do my morning walk, I do my marketing or whatever. So I thought I have enough sun, but actually, because you see, the doctor also mentioned, if you are covered, you know, from head to toe, then you very little exposure,
and all those things.
yes, very little exposure to the sun, and you walk under the shelter pathway, you not have the sun. So in that sense, it's limited, right? So it's limited. So you may not get the sufficient amount of sunlight to give you the vitamin D built in your body. So that's why that explains on and off I have this back pain, you know, Brother Teo. But some people may not have the back pain. Some people will have developed into muscle pain, you know, muscle ache, you know. So there are a few symptoms of vitamin D deficiency. So
what
it's
are the
good
symptoms?
that there are few, you know, but can be very severe also if you have very, very
good to share. You must share.
if you have very, how do you call that, deficient, they put it as like deficient, inadequate, and normal, you know, normal range. So if you like for my case, I was a borderline case. I just below the good range line, you know. So probably like for me, I don't have enough exposure of the sun, or maybe I don't eat enough of the kind of food that give me the vitamin D, you know. So it's a few factors, you know, that kind of thing. But vitamin D from the sunlight is the most natural way to get it, you know. So it's good to get. So so for us, as we grow older, we may not have the so-called nutrient that we have, you know, that we eat from, you know. The food that we eat may not have enough nutrient to support us to maintain our body. So it's very important sometimes, although we do not like to eat supplement, I mean, for my case, I also not very disciplined eating supplement in the past, you know, because I thought that if I eat enough of balanced diet, I should have enough nutrient for my body, you know. So in that sense, I wasn't very disciplined in my input. I mean, not taking on a disciplined manner to take my multivitamins, I know, that kind of thing. So from this lesson, I kind of like realized that it's very important that I take my vitamin D, you know, because I don't have enough sunlight, although I live in a very hot country, Brother Teo, you know. So it all depends on your activity and your exposure to the sunlight. If you wear long sleeve, long pants, definitely you don't get enough, you know, Brother Teo. Okay. So my point is that also after I take my the important thing is after I take my vitamin D, right, Brother Teo, I realized I don't have the back pain anymore, you know.
Wow, sadhu.
Yes,
good.
Very, very effective, you know. Actually, the doctor in that video that the doctor said, to let's say a person that have a back pain, right, and have been pain for many days, kind of like severe enough, then you take that amount of vitamin D that he recommended, you will see the effect immediately within 15 minutes. 15 minutes,
good.
Brother.
That's
He
good.
said 15 minutes, the doctor said, you know. So for me, I didn't take that 10,000 IU that he recommended, because my one is not severe, you know, Brother Teo. My one is like on and off. I guess it's when I don't have enough exposure to the sunlight, or I don't have a balanced diet, you know, that give me the vitamin D, huh? Therefore, my backache will be triggered, you know. I mean, a bit pain here and there, the kind of thing, the back. So when I take already, on a daily basis, so I took more than the usual amount that I need to take, you know. Usually I will take, normal case, I'll take 1,000 IU. But because of what I saw on the video and what he recommended is 10,000. So I took like 4,000, you know, 4,000.
Oh, that's 4 times.
4,000. But the doctor recommended 10,000.
Oh, 10,000. No wonder.
Yeah, he recommended 10,000. You'll see the effect in 15 minutes. But because my case is not severe, so I take only 4,000. So I take it for like for 3 days, you know. I see that the backache no more happening, you know, Brother. Until today,
that's effective.
No more happening at all, you know, at all. Even though I don't have exposure to sunlight every day, you know, Brother.
Sadhu,
You know?
very good.
So it helps, it helps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely, this is good news.
Yes.
A lot of people don't know.
Yeah, so actually the other thing is in all our blood tests, not all blood tests will do the vitamin D, you know. In fact, the last time I did all my medical tests, blood tests, they don't have the vitamin D inside. It just happened that this particular time that I do the medical test, this clinic offered the vitamin D, you know. So I did that. Therefore, I realized that my vitamin D has been on the borderline case. It could be in the past, I could have been in the borderline case, I do not know, Brother Teo, because it wasn't tested. You know, on and off, you know, on and off, maybe captured, not captured, I do not know. But on and off, I mean, for me, based on my own experience, I feel that I on and off will have that, but not chronic, not severe kind, you know. Okay. So coming back to this, right? Then I went for my morning walk, right? I met my neighbor. So my neighbor just talked to me what I do, that kind of thing, just chit chat. After that, she told me about the husband having problem. I said, what kind of problem? He said he has a very bad backache. I said backache. So I said, did he do any tests or not? Blood test to check the vitamin D. Apparently, they also never do, you know, Brother Teo.
Oh, no wonder.
Yeah, they also
Very
never
few
do.
people know what you mentioned. I also haven't heard of. This is the first.
You haven't heard also? Okay.
No, I haven't heard.
So I told them, you know, I mean, the husband had a problem. You see, the husband, he's working, and then morning he go to work, come back at night, hardly got any sun, no, Brother. Look at him, he's very, very fair, you know, Brother. Fairer than me, fairer than the wife also. The wife is even darker than him. So I suspect maybe he also not enough vitamin D, you know, Brother. Yeah, his is even worse. This severe until he go to the bone doctor, chiropractor.
Oh, chiropractor.
To look at his backache, you know, back pain, you know. Yeah. So I tell them quickly go and do the check at the whatever clinic that I went nearby here. So she was so happy. They were so happy that there could be some hope to help him recover.
To
heal him, because he has been going to see this bone doctor, chiropractor, right? But never have any improvement, no. So
most of the time, no improvement unless you get a good one.
So no improvement. So this one, I hope they discover, and then probably will help them solve their problem. His
If
problem,
the vitamin D can really solve, it's a blessing to them.
Yes, exactly. So I hope it helps them to
This
the husband to
thing,
recover.
I believe, because when I was in Form 5, I studied what they call health science. That time I studied health science. I took the exam. I don't have teacher one. Our school don't have health science teacher one. We have to study our own one. But because there is this textbook which is very good, I score A. And that one I like because they highlight to us vitamin deficiency can give rise to a lot of problem, especially you lack vitamin C. You develop scurvy and a lot of disease, health problem unnecessary. But once you have enough vitamin C, you recover and no more problem. That's why vitamins are very important, especially multivitamins. But some people don't believe on that. Please be careful. Because last time I think I met one guy, I don't want to mention him. He, I think, in the pharmaceutical industry. He said, Betty, I know you, that's why I want to give you good advice. Forget about all the vitamin C that they recommend to you. Don't waste money. I think there's some truth in that. Because vitamin C very easily you can get from fruits and all those things. But other vitamins which are not so easily available, you need to eat. I think you need to have the supplement. You have to have it. But you also have to be thankful in the sense that there's a lot of this artificial thing that people put onto the shelf to sell, and unless it's proven, produced by reliable pharmaceutical companies, or people have used it, tested to be good, then try not to use it. So my advice is, it's useful. Find out. Don't be gullible. Don't just accept lock, stock, and barrel and just do. But from the doctor one, reliable. Don't worry. So your case is very good. That news can help people. So next time other people got backache, I tell them, you go and check your vitamin D. See you got deficiency. Then vitamin D actually, like you say, free. Go into the sun. My wife like to do that. He always tell me, hey, morning sun, before 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. It's very good. But your lady is not so easy. You cannot take off your shirt. We all men can take off our shirt and walk around. But when you are in your morning walk, your attire, don't wear long sleeve. I think it's okay. Where the attire, normally people wear short. So quite a lot of your face, your body, they are exposed to sunlight. So every time the sunlight come out, my wife will say, hey, morning sun, good. He say, your back face the sun. I think that one definitely help. But for me, I got a lot of sunlight. My daughter also say, we all dark color one, tinted one. We go into the sun very fast, we get dark one. But just now you say, if your skin color is dark, vitamin D very difficult to go in.
Oh yes. For darker skin one, you need a longer time exposure to the
our
sun.
skin originally was not dark, but very easily become dark one. The moment I expose to sunlight, I get the tinting very fast.
Yeah, according to this doctor, he said like you need like 20 minutes per day, for the sunlight, something like that.
You normally walk for at least 30 or to 40 minutes, sometimes 45 minutes.
Yes. So that's all I want to share for today,
Good.
Brother. So
Sadhu.
yes, thank you very much.
Thank you. Let us rejoice.
Sadhu.
So we will share merit, transfer merit, then we end. Today good timing. Akasata Chil Bhumata Devanaga Mahindika Punyang Tang Anumoditwa Chirang Rakantu Loka Sasana Etawata Chamehi Sampadan Punya Sampadan Sabbe Deva Anumodantu Sabba Sampati Siddhya Idang me nyatinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idang me nyatinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idang me nyatinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Devo satukalena sasa sampati hetu cha. Hito bhavatu loko cha. Raja bhavatu dhammiko. Imina punyang kamina. Mami bala samagamo. Satang samagamo hotu. Yawa nivana patiya. Sadhu. Sadhu. Okay, you all can now pay respect mindfully to Lord Buddha, Guan Yin Bodhisattva, and all the worthy ones. Then we will end our whole sharing. Sadhu.